Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
I want this to be a really important evening. And those two people that went down are patriots, and we love them. Yes. And because of them, we ended up with some good music, right? Right? So play YMCA. Go ahead. Let's go. Nice and loud.
Here we go, everybody.
Nobody's leaving. What's going on? There's nobody leaving.
I went to the doctor and guess who told
Street ain't got nothing to eat, and the whole beast milking welfare.
I don't know if it's treason, Malcolm. I'm tired. You commented on this, him dancing to music for 40 minutes. And what I was saying, this is the October surprise, is he is completely lost the last one of his marbles. Someone said a Nuremberg rally, but on ketamine. He's clearly looks high as a kite. I mean, I don't know what is happening, but it is really terrifying.
Well, you know, the reason I commented on that, because I was sitting in Vienna airport and I finally caught up to what was going on. And I thought, this is insane. He's finally publicly started having mental health crises that the news media can't deny or go away and say that, oh, this is just Trump being Trump. No, this is Trump being mentally ill, unhinged.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a clear sign of dementia. It was bad enough that his Chicago Economic Forum that he couldn't seem to even answer a question that he was asked, and then attacked, you know, the very highly qualified moderators. Mm-hmm. But Trump's standing there and doing his double ballast pump
Handy J.
move,
Handy J.
You know, double hander for 30 minutes. And just, let's go to our playlist. Let's play the Ave Maria. Let's play the Ave Maria again with Pavarotti. And Kristi Noem, The Daily Show put it best when they said Kristi Noem was wondering whether, you know, never misses a beat to take something out to the gravel pit and shoot it. And was really seriously looking at Trump like he was insane. Mm-hmm. We've reached the point where Donald Trump must be said to be mentally unfit to do this job and should withdraw from the election. Period.
Malcolm, many of us who've lost a parent to Alzheimer's are like, I was saying the way Kristi Noem was talking to him at the beginning of the rally, there was the exact way the nurses in my mom's nursing home would talk to her. And she was, you know, when she passed at nearly 100. I mean, it is beyond terrifying at this point. So what was I going to, I was saving for you this, because I just saw another picture of a boat parade for Trump with Nazi flags. And Larry tweeted, "It saddens and sickens me that the greatest generation fought so bravely and so valiantly to defeat the Nazis and fascists around the world, only to have them resurface in 2024 in boat parades in honor of the most heinous traitor this nation has ever known." I mean, it just feels like understating it to say this is the most important election of our lives, right? Or it's everything we say now sounds like hyperbole, but it's not, right?
It's not hyperbole, and to be quite honest, I'm quite surprised, or should I say I shouldn't be surprised.
Right.
The news media is not getting this. This is not about policy anymore.
Yeah.
This is not about just his fitness for office. This is about, is America choosing to become a dictatorship? That's the stakes, dictatorship or democracy. And no one is couching it in those phrases. Trump said that he would start using cops, 100% immunity for police, use the police, the National Guard, and the Army to go door to door to round up 20 million people. You know, that means checkpoints on the road.
Yep.
That means they'll stop you and ask you for identification if they think you're a person of color. You could be rolled up. You could be illegally arrested and deported from the United States, even if you're a legal resident.
Yeah.
This is about authoritarianism. When I wrote that book, They Want to Kill Americans, I was not joking. That was 4 years ago that I was trying to warn, 3 years ago, trying to warn you all that their side really does want to use their guns. And it's being said louder and louder and louder.
I mean,
I wrote Substack.
FEMA had to evacuate because they were being hunted. The right-wing militias were hunting FEMA.
Yep. And telling law enforcement they were going to do it. telling them they were going to do it, sitting there getting their AR-15s, big fat guys who could barely walk 100 feet, and telling them that they were going to go around and start hunting FEMA, right? No one was arrested for that. And they know who the person is that said it. That's a threat to law enforcement. That's a threat to the operations of the federal government.
Yeah.
But it's the environment we're living in because Donald Trump has created this environment, and his hillbilly army, all right, of Meal Team 6 Gravy Seals wannabes, all are out there with their big fat paunches, wearing their gear wrong, and wanting to go parade like they're freaking Delta Force, and they're make-believe, and they think that this is the Civil War, and they can intimidate blacks, women, to not vote. You must vote to save this democracy. Look, I was overseas, and I was talking to Democratic groups abroad. You've got to understand, if we can't do it here, if every one of you cannot bring 2 or 3 people, it's the end of American democracy, period.
You and your family have served for decades. We were talking about how against the grain it is for military people to speak out. We have yet another one. This is U.S. Army Major General Randy Manner. He said Trump and his MAGA movement fit the definition of fascism. He warned if Trump were to return to office, especially in light of the Supreme Court's immunity ruling, everything changes. He said the Supreme Court has given him immunity. The threshold for turning the National Guard into his personal police force is quite low. He noted as long as Trump remains out of office, he cannot do anything to harm America directly. He said most Americans don't know how easy it would be for an unhinged president to use the military against our own citizens. President Trump is not like any sane leader. I mean, I don't know how many more military officials are to say he will blow up this country and the world. Economists. You retweeted Neil Cavuto said the Trump thing and the market amazes me. When they're up, it's because of him. Because when they're down, it's because of the Democrats. Some of the biggest point losses occurred during his administration. Economists are warning he's going to blow up the U.S. and the world economy. I mean, I've just never seen an election like this. Have you?
No one's ever seen this. 1860 is the last time we saw this, when they rejected Abraham Lincoln as a candidate, and 13 states decided they no longer were part of the United States. Look what the result of that is. Look, this is entering the most dangerous period in American history. I was lowballing it when I said on Bill Maher in 2020 that we were going to go into insurrection. And he thought, we're going to do kumbaya. There will be no kumbaya with these people after this.
Yeah.
I wrote a whole warning manual about how they were transitioning to a war insurgency paramilitary, and they're there.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they'll accept that. I know this morning Neil Katyal has written a new article saying you could be looking at a 9-0 conservative Supreme Court. 9-0. They will get rid of Supreme Court justices. They could expand the court to 13 or 14. This election could take away virtually everything my family fought for, and maybe even fought to defeat, maybe even, instituting slavery on some levels.
Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. I hope you'll join me on my new audio podcast, Justice Matters. I'll be using my 30 years as a federal prosecutor and Army JAG to unpack, break down, and explain the legal issues of the day, particularly where the legal intersects with the political. Please look for Justice Matters with Glenn Kirshner wherever you generally get your podcasts.